Okay, so a longer warm up, right, to review some of these skills. Quiz tomorrow. I'm trying to keep straight in my head. I have a quiz tomorrow where everyone online is also taking the quiz. That's not you guys. Quiz tomorrow just for you guys. Those of you who are on Zoom right now, your quiz is Monday. Quiz isn't going to take the whole class. We're going to start Unit 4 tomorrow. So you just got all the Unit 4 stuff. Make sure you bring that stuff with you tomorrow. The quiz is open notes. So like if you came today and you only have the homework but not the notes, or you only have this piece or not that piece, you want to come tomorrow with every resource you could possibly have for Unit 3 so that you can use it on your quiz. I'm going to get my notes back out. The piece of paper, if you have chunks missing, the part that's probably most important, I would think, couple of pages, really the beginning stuff, but this chart, okay, so this chart that says, here's what would be congruent, here's what would be supplementary, okay, this is kind of like a golden page of notes that I would think you would use quite a bit on your quiz, okay, and I think that's in like the second day of notes. So on this warm-up, it asks you to identify what each of these angle pairs are. So I'm just going to grab a pencil so I can erase as I go. 9 and 16, what angle relationship is that? There's 9 and 16. Alternate exterior. So on this diagram, here's the transversal, right? Transversal, remember, hitting 2 or more lines. So there's the transversal. 9 and 16 are not on the same side. So right away, I shouldn't be thinking about same side. I should be thinking about alternate. They don't even list same side as an option. They list supplementary angles as an option. So 9 and 16 are C, alternate exterior angles. 15 and 11. What would be true about 15 and 11? They would be supplementary because these has nothing to do with parallel lines. They're that linear pair where they're creating a line that's a 180-degree angle. So E, those would be supplementary angles. Now switching from 11 to 15 to 10 and 15, what is their relationship? Alternate interior angles. These would be A. And now still 15. But looking at 12 and 15, what's that relationship? Vertical angles. Again, nothing to do with parallel lines. Vertical angles always exist. 12 and 15 are vertical angles, which is D. Looking at the other row, 9 and 11, what type of angle relationship do 9 and 11 have? Here and here. Yeah, that's same side, but one in, one out. That's corresponding, B. Sticking with 9, but switching to 9 and 15. What do you think? None, yeah. They're on opposite sides, so they're alternate, but one's interior, one's exterior. There's no relationship between those two angles. So F, none. 13 and 14. 13 and 14, what would they be? Supplementary, yeah, they're creating a line. Okay, so anything that creates a line is going to be supplementary. That's going to be E. 14, so still 14, but now 14 and 11. What are those? Alternate interior, so opposite sides on the interior of those two lines. A. Okay, now I think 9 is kind of fun. So given these two angles, I can find any angle in this diagram. So let me show you how with number 2, I'm going to do 1/2. And then if you haven't done this yet, I'll let you try to fill in for 6. Okay. So I know 2, which is right here, is 97. If I know 2 is 97, what other angle do I know is 97? 3. 2 and 3 are vertical angles. So I know that in there, I could have gone with it. There's other things that I could list that are the same here. I could have said 2 and 10 because they're corresponding. I could have said 2 and 11 because they're alternate exterior angles. Okay, but I know 2 and 3, I don't think I copied the directions. We're assuming these are parallel. That 2 and 3, because they're vertical, are the same. So I know 3 is 97. I know that 3 and 10 are the same because they're alternate interior. So I can go, okay, this is 97. Then these are vertical again. Okay, so that's 97. Okay, so you see how 2 on this transversal here, I have all sorts of angles that are congruent to 2. The alternate interior, alternate exterior, vertical angles I can use there to find corresponding angles, to find congruent angles. What about the ones I didn't fill in? What would those be in relationship to 2? Like, what is 1 in relationship to 2? Supplementary, yeah. So 1 and 2 are creating this line here. So if 2 is 97, what must 1 be? 83. Because 2 and 1 have to add up to 180. And now watch, if 1 is 83, then 4 is 83. And if 4 is, because they're vertical. And if 4 is 83, 9 is 83 because they're alternate. And 12 is 83. Okay, so given one angle on this transversal, given what I know about alternate interior, exterior, same side interior angles, all of that stuff, linear pairs, I can fill in all the angles along that transversal. I can do the same for 6. So if I know 6 is 83, give you a minute to fill in the rest of that diagram. I don't even care what's over here. I'm just going to fill in the diagram, and then filling in the blanks over there will be easy. Okay, because I'll have them all. Okay. If 6 is 83, what's 5? 97. What's 7? 83. What's 8? Yep. What's 13? 14? 15? Down here. 83. 16? 97. Okay, so they totally gave us enough information to find any other angle that they could ask for. Okay, and so they asked for angle 3. We said angle 3 is 97. And I honestly, I feel like it's easier to just fill in the whole diagram than go like angle by angle here and have to problem solve each time. Like I prefer to just be like, okay, I know this is 97, here are my angles. I know this is 83, here are my angles. And then go back to here. Because if I was only looking at like the couple of angles they asked, then I may be going through that process 6 times instead of just do it once and now fill in what it asks for. Angle 10, 97. Angle 9, 83. Angle 5, 97. Angle 7, 83. And angle 16, 97. Okay, do you see how I've already done the work? I'm just filling it in after. Okay. Then it gives us another diagram. It says S and T are parallel. So we know these lines right here are parallel. And it says if angle 4 is 77 and angle 8 is 4x plus 57, find x. Well, how do I do that? What do I need to know about those angles? Yeah.
Well, you know, they're equal. They're congruent, so.
They're congruent because what type of angle relationship is that? Corresponding angles. So what you need to ask yourself is, well, what's the relationship between 4 and 8? Which they're corresponding angles, which means they're congruent, which means I can set them equal to each other. Okay, so you kind of have to go through a thinking process first of like, okay, well, what are they? What does that mean? Okay, then there's my setup. And so then solving, subtracting 57, it's going to give us 20 equals 4x, or x equals 5. Okay. Then it goes to 3 and 5. So it says if 3 is 5x plus 13 and 5 is 53. So first question, what's the relationship between 3 and 5? What type of angles are these? Alternate interior angles. What's true about alternate interior angles? Are they congruent or supplementary? Congruent. Okay, so I have to go through that thought process first. Alternate interior angles are congruent, which means that 5x plus 13 equals 53. That angle 3 is equal to angle 5. And subtracting 13 from both sides gives me 5x equals 40, or x equals 8. 1 and 7. They didn't even give us any supplementary pairs here, huh? 1 is 6x subtract 5, 7 is 115. What type of angle relationship do 1 and 7 have? Alternate exterior, just like alternate interior, we're congruent. So alternate exterior, they're congruent, which means 6x subtract 5 equals 115, or 6x equals 120, and x equals 20. Okay, so in terms of the algebra piece, which the back side gives us more practice with this algebra piece, there's more than one pot. This happened to all be congruent. Okay, but you should always stop, go, what's the relationship? What does that mean? That's going to tell you how to set it up. And on that page, what I'm going to call the golden page of notes, it even said when we filled in these notes, if they're alternate interior or corresponding or vertical, they're congruent. It even says above it, that means set them equal to each other on our notes. Okay. Then on supplementary, it says same side, interior, exterior, linear pairs, one angle plus another angle equals 180. Okay. It's all right here, golden little page for this, especially for that algebra piece. So on the back, same idea. So first, I'm going to give you a little bit more work time in a minute. Let's go through and identify what type of angles we have. What type of angle relationship do I have on 13? On 13, alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are what? They're congruent. Good. We still have to go back and solve. On 14, what angle relationship is this? Corresponding angles. They are congruent. On 15, what's that angle relationship? What are vertical angles? What are vertical angles? Congruent. Well, I can't hear you with your muffling of the mask. They're congruent, yeah. So this was from last unit where we had two options. Linear pair was one, vertical is the other. Vertical are congruent, linear pair when it makes a line is equal to 180. So verticals congruent. What's this? Number 16. Same side interior, same side starts with an S. Same sides are supplementary, also starts with an S. Just one way you can remind yourself what the relationship means. Same side interior, same side exterior, supplementary. 17 is also same side interior, which means they're supplementary. What is 18? Corresponding, which means they are congruent. Okay, that's the info you need. That you need to be able to do that on your own on your quiz. Now I'm going to give you a couple of minutes because I know we weren't done with this to try to set up and solve at least a few of these if you haven't done so already. Okay. Go back through these. So when they are congruent, we know we set them equal to each other. So on 13, I have 5, 14, 10. You agree with me? Yeah, if you don't agree with me, maybe you see what happened in terms of the algebra piece. 15, congruent, set it equal, I get 3. Once I get to 16, you see how the setup is different? So it's one angle plus another angle equals 180. You get 4. Same on 17, so it's one angle plus the other angle equals 180, and I get 6. 18 goes back to congruent, so corresponding angles, set them equal to each other, and I have 12. Okay. So last night, after we got off Zoom yesterday, you should have worked on homework 18, which was a quiz review. So we're going to go over that quiz review real quick, make sure we answer any questions that you may have. I'll go through this a little bit faster, but than what we just did. But we're gonna have extra time today, like I knew we were going to going in. So I'll give you time to organize yourself. I think many of you are missing pieces that you need for tomorrow. So you can use that time to fill in gaps in your notes. You can use that time to go on Google Classroom and see what you're missing. You cannot use that time to like get caught up on a video game or like use some sort of app on your phone. That's not what we're going to use that time for, but I will give you some downtime at the end to organize yourself since tomorrow's quiz is open notes. So the more you're organized, the more resources you have, the better off you'll be. Yeah, River.
Oh, do you have an extra copy of that?
This I do. Yeah, actually, so I don't think I have enough copies. Something weird happened with 18. It got separated from the homework packet. So it's totally possible that none of you had this. It was online yesterday, but the physical copy. Does anyone else want to? I don't know if we have an
I'm gonna start printing this stuff
I don't know
out.
how that happened, but I had printed it for the other group because I realized it had happened. Yeah, so really quickly. All right, so you can yell out to me what you think the correct answer is here. So 1 and 7, what is their relationship?
The alternate exterior.
They are alternate exterior angles. Now notice that these are not parallel lines. So the relationship is still there, even if they're not parallel lines. It's just that they're only congruent or supplementary if the lines are parallel. So like here, they're parallel, which is why it asks you then decide if it's congruent or supplementary. So knowing that they're alternate exterior in this diagram doesn't tell me that they're the same angle. It just tells me that that's just alternate exterior angles, not parallel lines. Number 2, 4 and 6.
Is it interior?
Alternate interior, yeah. 8 and 7, what's that called? Supplementary would be fine. Or did anyone have something else? Like a linear pair?
Oh.
Okay, either one would be fine. 3 and 8, nothing. Yeah, alternate sides, 1 in, 1 out is nothing. Same side, 1 inside, 1 outside is corresponding, but alternate, that's nothing. This would be none. 3 and 5, alternate interior. 2 and 4, vertical. Good. On the next set, this is a little more challenging because it doesn't give you the numbers, the numbered angles, it gives you letters. So let me use my pencil. IKF goes IKF. So that's this angle here. Okay, so that's how you determine where you're at. So you can't just go like, oh, the middle one's the vertex, it's K, because K could be this angle, that angle, or that angle. You have to go through, it's not even an I, is it? Oh, where am I? I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't know, I skipped one. I was looking here, IKF. We'll go back to A. So if I have IKF, I have to go in that order to see which angle K am I talking about. And then compared to GLJ, GLJ would be this angle. So what would this relationship be? Alternate exterior angles, and it says EF that this line is parallel to this line. So it says then state if they are congruent or supplementary. So are these angles congruent or supplementary? Congruent. Okay, so then I have EKL right here. And GLJ, same angle, right? Right here. What is their angle relationship? So I'm going back to A, here and here. Corresponding, same side of this line, but one in, one out is corresponding. And corresponding angles are congruent. On C, this one starts at J, goes K, and then F. J, K, F, that's here. And K, L, H. K to L to H would be here. What angle relationship is that? Same side interior. And what are same side interior angles? Supplementary, exactly. ILH, so I go I to L to H would be here. And JLH would be here. Here's the tricky piece. What's the relationship? Are they congruent or supplementary? Supplementary. What do we call that angle relationship? Linear pair. Yeah. Linear pair, and they're supplementary. JLH and ILG. Vertical angles. What are vertical angles? Mhm. What angles are congruent? See all the things we know? It's fun to know things. EKL and HLK. Alternate interior, which are, yeah. JLH and JKF. Corresponding. Yeah. Angles. Last one, EKJ and GLK. Same side interior. Supplementary. Want to know, what do I know?
Simple conversation with an English teacher.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah. All right, we already did a bunch of these, but a couple of them are more challenging than what we saw in our warm up. So first of all, on number one, should I set these angles equal or should I set them equal to 180? Equal to each other because they are corresponding angles. So I go, okay, these are corresponding angles are congruent. I have to go through that process. Slow yourself down. Okay, so they're equal to each other.
So congruents equal each other and linear pairs equal 180.
Or same side interiors.
Yeah.
What I've seen over and over again on this assessment each year is like students just choose one or the other. Like, I'm not going to take the time to figure it out. I'm just going to set all of these equal to each other. I'm going to set them all equal to 180, whatever choice they go with. And you're going to get 50% of them incorrect. Okay, so don't do that. Take the time. You have your notes. Figure out what the relationship is and what that means for your setup. Then adding 4, so you'd have had 2x equals 16, and you should have x equals 8 on number 1. Now 2 is a little more challenging because it gives us 2 variables. So I have an x and a y. Now what I can't do is put the x and the y together right away, right? So I need to go with these 2 angles that both have x, and these angles, what are their relationship?
Same side.
Which means that they are equal to 180. So I need to do x plus 67 plus x plus 127 equals 180. Okay, so knowing that these are same side interior allows me to know how to set it up. And then I have 2x plus 194 equals 180. Or 2x equals negative 14 And you should have had x equals -7 there. Now there's two ways that I can kind of go about finding y. If it were me, I would probably go, okay, well, if x is -7, then what is this angle? If x is -7, this angle is 120. I mean, that's what I would do. You could write out a new equation. These, this is a linear pair, so these angles are supplementary, or you could have done these angles are alternate interior, either way. Okay, but for me, I would figure out what these angles are. So same idea, if I plug in -7, I know this angle is 60, okay, which works because it should add up to 180. And then whether I use the fact that these are alternate interior or I use the fact that this creates a line, it now tells me that this angle should equal what? 60. Okay, that's what I would do. Once I know this stuff, I would find the angle. And now I know that 3y plus 7 equals 60. And 3y equals 53. And divide by 3. 53. Well, that's not going to help us at all. Let's just leave it.
I don't know, I was thinking.
That's weird. There are other ways that you could have done it. Like you could have said, oh, these are alternate interior. So you could have set up the equation with the x. And then plugged in -7. Sure. Okay. Or you could have used the linear pair. You could have set up a long equation and then plugged in for x. I just think it's easier to start finding angles. Okay. On the back side, we have two more of these. What is the relationship on 3? Alternate exterior, which means they're congruent. This is a quick and easy one to solve because you subtract 9 and you just have x minus 5 equals 3
Oh my gosh.
or x equals 8. Same on 14, it's pretty easy to solve because you have 19 and 18, so it goes fast here, easy math. Subtract 18 gives you x minus 1 equals 5. You should have had x equals 6. Okay, these are both alternate angles, alternate exterior, alternate interior, so they're equal to each other. Okay, in one proof. We have our notes, we're not going to be stressed about proofs. It's only one part of the whole quiz. Oh, look, the diagram's all messed up. That's fun.
What do you do?
Must have been whatever version sometimes when I use Word and I haven't printed it to a PDF, then Google Docs will mess up the Word document. So let me pull it up. What?
While we're waiting, for that, mind if I ask a question?
Sure.
Anybody watch this show called Dexter?
No, I've never watched it because it terrifies me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's getting the 9th season. After like 7 years.
Oh, really? Like it had a break? Okay. But this is not, we didn't do subs property, so I wouldn't worry too much about this one. Proofs that I would look at and make sure that I have filled in. Really, I think we only did 2 that are worth on page 9 and page 10. So there's a proof on page 9 where we use the transitive property. And there's a proof on page 10, I think, where we also use the transitive property. They're very similar. Okay, this is more what we want to be prepared for tomorrow. Okay. So now, as promised, so first of all, you have no homework tonight other than getting yourself ready for the test. We're not backing up yet, quite yet, because we have 10 minutes. Okay, so during those 10 minutes,